Hey guys, I recently started a brand new Minecraft Hardcore world because my friend stopped paying for my server. And I wanted to do a super fun challenge to get the world started. And so I went to my super fun list of super fun Minecraft challenges and I decided to transform a village. Now the first step to transforming a village in Minecraft Hardcore is of course to find a village.
Sugar, yes, please. Won't you come and put it down
Luckily, I had already found a village, which means it was time to move on to step 2.
right here? 'Cause I need better love.
Now there were only 2 villagers left in the village because I had stolen the rest from my iron farm. And so I decided the first thing to make was a villager breeder. This was gonna be easy because villager breeding was my area of expertise. With tons of experience, I have developed a breeder that works perfectly using a technique called side channeling, where it channels the villagers out of the side of the villager breeder. Unfortunately, it didn't work though, and so I just decided to use a normal villager breeder. Now this village only had 4 houses, and so I decided to start off by replacing all the ground with podzol and building a few more houses. However, I forgot to record this. But don't worry, I edited together some fake footage so you guys could still see what it was like for me to build the house. After I finished building the house, I selected my first villager, and I peacefully contained him inside the house. I continued to work on the village, adding a farm, a decorative wall, and even 2 more houses. As you can see, I've been working on this place. I've added a bunch of houses, a nice little tree. This is the librarian's house. This is the butcher's house. This house is, this is the mason's house. Yeah. I also added a tiny penitentiary, just in case any of the villagers were bad. Next, I decided to work on the farmland and add some utilities and structures. But soon, I was interrupted by a priceless moment. Oh my goodness. These 2 villagers are proposing. Oh my goodness. Alright guys, as you can see, I've added a pond and I added some light poles and stuff for the farmers. Oh yeah, and I added this wall. Yeah, so this wall is just in case any of the villagers try to go too far from home. So yeah, next I'm gonna do some work on these houses and make them look a little nicer. Now you're probably wondering what this little area is gonna be used for. Well, that's gonna be something special. Next, I fixed the villager houses to make them look like the houses I had built. I fixed this one and this one. And I also built this. It's just a nice little extra housing unit. Yeah, it can house a lot of villagers, and so it's not gonna be used for concealed violence. I was making huge progress on the village, and it was starting to become a super fun environment for all the villagers. However, for some reason, all my villagers had been locked up in weird places, except for one villager. This is our only free villager now. He's our only free villager. But yeah, we'll probably free some more villagers, because we like to keep our villagers free. Anyways, guys, our town square is looking a little underwhelming. And so, I'm gonna be building something here to kind of just tie the whole village together. And to tie them all up here. I was ready to build the town square, but before I could start, a tragedy struck. Oh, no. All of the villager houses burnt down. Oh, the houses are on fire. How does this fire? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do about this? There's nothing I can do about this. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is terrible. How did this even happen? How did this even happen? I have no idea how this happened. I could not believe what had just happened. I mean, how did it even happen? I don't know. I have no idea how this happened. I have no clue. Despite having lost all my progress and wanting to give up, just like I always do, I decided that I couldn't give up yet, because this wasn't about me. This was about the villagers. So I immediately replaced all the grass in the village with gravel, and built a giant statue of myself in the town center. Now I am planning to add more to the town center. I'm super excited, but I'm gonna be keeping that a secret until the next clip. I added a villager exploder! Oh yeah, let's go! Yeah! My villager exploder works by taking the captured villagers, putting them in a drop tank, which would drop them all the way into an obsidian chamber, where they could then become exploded. Yeah! Yeah! The villager exploder was the perfect addition to the village, but the village was far from finished. So, over the next following weeks, I put in countless minutes and sometimes even an hour working on the village. And let me tell you something, it was tough. I worked like an employed person through the days. My dedication was unmatched, only matched by really dedicated people. The only way I was gonna let these villagers down was if I got distracted or I did something else. And so I put in every ounce of energy I had into thinking about working sometimes. And eventually, after many long minutes and sleepless afternoons, I finally finished the village. I mostly finished it. The village now had furnaces, a small trading hall, a village breeder, and a farmland. But there was still one thing missing. Where's the villagers gonna sleep? I had to make a hotel for the villagers immediately, and so I started building one with the design inspired by IQ Prof's ultimate villager detention camp. And while I was building it, there was an epic llama battle. Yeah! Yes, sir! Attaboy! Let's go! Would you like some flowers? Here, I'll give you some flowers. Here's some flowers. Here's some oh my goodness, he died. After that, I finished the hotel, and I knew the villagers were gonna love it. Well, guys, the village is finally done. Let's go. Also, this villager breeder isn't working, and so I'm gonna have to blow it up. Now, it's time for a tour of the village. And so this is my little area. It kind of is above all the rest of the village. Over here is the farming fields. And a lot of farmers, they are doing great work farming the fields. They love it. Now, obviously, they're not forced to do this. They have ladders. And then next, as you go down into the village, the first thing you see is, of course, the giant villager hotel. A very hospitable hotel. We have lots of rooms, plenty of rooms for all the villagers to be in. Over here is some horse fields in the back. Now, of course, this hotel has multiple levels. As you can see, here's level 2. There's tons more rooms. Obviously, this is a secret room. We can't enter there. But it even has a 3rd floor. And then you can go on the roof. And yes, look how beautiful this view is. Doesn't it just look so beautiful? All of the work we've done for these villagers, it's just, I'm just so proud right now. I'm so proud of myself. So whenever you leave the hotel, the first thing you see is, of course, the furnace rooms. Now, you're not supposed to enter there. We're not supposed to enter there, and so we're not going to go in there. But there's the furnace rooms. Of course, we have the town center with the beautiful statue of me where we can blow up villagers, and the villager housing complex. Yeah, and we're not supposed to enter here too. Next up, if you go over here, we can still see that we still have an original house from the villagers to remind them of when times were tough and they had to live in these little small houses. Now they have giant jails to live in. This is a very nice jail, very great jail. The villagers love it here. For some reason, they're all gone, though. I don't know what happened. Also, underneath the hotel, we have the villager trading hall, where you can trade with all these villagers. And so I'm planning to expand it this way so that it keeps going and that it can kind of be an expansion of the hotel. But for now, I think we toured the whole village, guys. Let's go. I had done some amazing work. Here's what the village looked like before and after my help. But there was still one thing missing. Where's the villagers? There was barely any villagers left in the village, which means that all my work had been for nothing. But I couldn't let this happen. I needed villagers, and I needed lots of them. And so I knew what I needed to do. I needed to build a villager breeder bigger than all the villager breeders before. And I knew exactly where I was gonna put it.